Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Brett's Brain. Today we're going to talk about 3 tips of how to get a follow-up meeting. It's a really important skill to have and a really important thing to do in any sales scenario. Doesn't matter if you're selling your product or service or if you're trying to raise capital, which is just sales at the end of the day. Number one, understand the process. While you're in the current meeting, make sure you ask questions around what's your process from here? What would the next steps be for you? That gives you a timeline that will enable tips number 2 and number 3. Tip number 2 is try and set the next meeting while you're still in the current meeting. So once you understand the timeline and the next steps of what the decision making process might be, try and set the next meeting. Say, okay, great, you need a week to go through things and then you're going to reconnect. Let's go ahead and get that next meeting on the calendar. If you can't always do that, which sometimes you just can't do because they might be like, oh no, give us some time, we'll follow up. That's okay. Understanding the process and the next steps enables tip number 3, which may seem obvious, but an incredible number of people don't do it. Follow up. Don't forget to follow up. Even if they say they're going to follow up with you in a week, it is not their job to be the one to follow up with you. It is your job to ping them after 7 days if you haven't heard from them. Don't just expect people are going to have you top of mind always. People are busy. They have a lot of things going on. Just because they're not following up doesn't necessarily mean that they're not interested. If they told you 7 days and they'll follow up with you, ping them on the day number 8. Say, hey, just wanted to check in. Would love to get some more time on the calendar. You said it'd take about a week for you to get through the documentation. Do you have some time later this week or in the next day or two? Happy to walk through what we sent over. Make sure you do the follow up. If you just sit there quietly waiting, you could be waiting forever.